That Matter. I'm your host, Dr. Clyde Posley Jr., and once again, I am excited to have you all here, having tuned in to our Tuesday night at 7:30 broadcast. I'm so thankful for our viewership. I appreciate all of you. I thank you for your faithfulness. I even watch views sometimes as I've tried to take a little vacation this summer and just, relax and replenish myself. You guys still watch even if I have to rerun a show. So thank you so very much. This show is not a rerun. I am excited. We are starting a new season and we are hitting the ground running. The guest I have today is going to introduce to us a African-American male initiative, an empowerment rally that we hope turns into what we would like to call an Indiana Black Men's Expo. Listen, one day the Indiana Black Expo was just a thought, and it developed into the Expo as we know it. We are believing God that this Indiana Black Male Expo is going to be something that's powerful. But right now, it is called Strong Men, Strong Mind 2020. And what we're doing is taking initiative to empower some African-American men. We're going to talk about that in our next segment. What I want to remind you about is my book, More Than Icons and Images, Uncovering the Hidden Protest Narrative of the African-American Male Athlete in the 21st Century. There is much intersection, much clashing between politics and sports today. My book gets us into that conversation, and I think you'd want to purchase it because I think it's very relevant to this moment. Listen, you can get that book at Amazon.com. You can get it on my website, drclydeposleyjr.com. And you can also email me at drclydeposleyjr@gmail.com, and we'll get you a copy of that book. Listen, we have a powerful show. I have a very important guest whose mind gave birth to the whole concept of strong men, strong mind. You do not want to miss this next segment. Hit share and call a friend. Tell them Dr. Posley's on. He's got a powerful subject about African-American males. I'll be right back. Hi, I'm back. God bless you again and welcome again to Moves That Matter. So I told you that there is an initiative that has been created in our city, and the mind behind this idea that has developed into a working concept that will actually happen on August the 8th at the State Building is here with me today, and that is Councilman Keith Graves. Glad to have you, my brother.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you. We're excited to have you with us, and we're excited about the great things you're doing in the city. Kind of, if you would, look into the camera and introduce yourself to my audience.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me on this show, Moves That Matter. I really appreciate this opportunity. And I am Keith Graves. I am a member of the Indianapolis City Council, so very proudly serving District 13, which is an East Side community. Picks up at Emerson, goes over to Post Road, 56 on the north and 21st on the south. So that will cover Washington Township, Lawrence Township, and Warren Township. So if you live in any of those areas, I may possibly be your city county councilman. My details to reach out to me should you have a need will be available through Pastor here. So I am a stockbroker. I'm a financial consultant by trade. I've been in that industry for the last 22 years. And I currently work for a company, TD Ameritrade. So very happy to see a lot of the important items where personal finance and investing are concerned.
That's right.
But what we're here to talk about today, Pastor, is really the event. That's Strong Men, Strong Minds. And that's something that has really been with me since 1995. I was in attendance at the original Million Man March in D.C. 1995. And, it was something about that event that touched me, and it made me want to be a part of improving who I was, being a part of improving my community, being a better representative of what Black men were and what I visualized I should be. So I walked away from that with something that never really left me, and that was just a fire to be a part of change. So I'm here, brought that idea up to you some time back, and I'm glad that God pointed me in your direction because we have really moved that needle forward.
Absolutely.
And I'm excited about what's going to happen on August 8th, 8/8, 9 a.m. to 12:30 on the west door of the Indiana State House.
You know, this is, I believe this is something that is the will of God. There's no question about it. And God has shown us over and over again that this is something he wants done. And the most powerful place where you can expect God's favor is when you know you are doing the assignment he's assigned to you. Grace and assignment are always attached. I say that all the time. So, Councilman Grace, talk to us about what Strong Men, Strong Mind is about.
Yeah.
Talk to us about some of the initiatives of it, what it seeks to accomplish. So talk to us about what it's about, what some of the initiatives are, and what it seeks to accomplish.
Yeah. So if I choose one word to really summarize this event, it's empowerment. There are so many subcategories under the word empowerment, from financial empowerment, business development. There are those who are 2 steps away from creating their own business.
That's right.
There are those who are 2 steps away from the path to success. They've fallen off of that path to success, and we want to help them get back on that path. We have partnered with the Marion County prosecutor to provide discussions on expungement opportunities.
Getting your record clean.
Absolutely.
If you have one.
Getting your record clean. Driver's license reinstatement. Many of us are only unemployed because we can't drive to the jobs that are out there.
Help you with those suspensions.
So we'll help you with
tickets
getting that reinstated.
Right.
That conversation will be made available. And really, an important category is that child support conversation, because many of us are not in our children's lives because of child support arrangements that have gone awry. So those things will be discussed along with many
voter
others.
participation, right?
Absolutely.
PTSD.
The importance of voter registration and voter participation. You know, and we called it Strong Men, Strong Minds because of that PTSD.
That's right.
Because
post-traumatic slave disorder.
Absolutely.
Right.
Many of us are walking around in a state of traumatization, and we may not know it because it's so normalized.
That's right.
And
or you just been told you're bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're part of a bad statistic.
Absolutely.
A slavery could not be affecting you 400 years later. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
And we want to let each other know that we have shared those experiences together. I have shared those experiences. Many of us have shared those experiences. We, as a community of Black men, are on the cusp of more change. Our predecessors, the Martin Luther Kings of the world, and those like that we have no idea their names, they have helped us get to a certain place, but we're not where we want to be.
Right.
We are now at a place where we can move that needle again, and I think that all groups, all professional organizations, all coaches, tell your teams, all parents, mothers, tell your sons, fathers, bring your sons. If they come out, we'll begin something that what could be something that could go on very far in the future for us. And I'm very excited about it. We've got an exciting lineup. We've got some exciting topics and important topics that we're going to discuss. So I'm looking forward to more conversation on that.
That's right. If an African American man, comes to our event and he's given up on life, he doesn't know what it's all about, and he's almost to the point of suicide. He can't find a job, and he's unemployed, or he has a police record, but he wants something more. How do we reach him?
Well, the first thing is I want to tell that young man that he is not alone in that thinking. And I know he's not alone because I was there many years ago. I didn't know which way to go. It didn't have a lot of positive role models.
There. Absolutely.
And there was just an opportunity, really. What turned my life around was a summer opportunity to have free lunch at a church, and it just so happened to be
by other Black men.
It just so happened to be a good church, a great church. It was St. John Missionary Baptist Church. So under the leadership of Andrew J. Brown, I was able to have a lot of what the fire that I have for my community instilled in me. So I went looking for that summer lunch program that they offered teens, but I came away with a lot of fire.
Right.
He was one of the architects of the Indiana Black Expo. So, 20 plus years after he died, here I am still talking about his impact on my life. There were other strong men in that church that helped myself and one of my best friends really turn our lives around. We really didn't, know that college was an option. Right. It really wasn't a topic of conversation. But they helped us, we moved down that lane. So I know that young man that is not really sure which way to go. So I would absolutely tell him he's not alone. I would ask him to come to our event and events like ours. We will have follow-up events after the Strong Men, Strong Minds event on August 8th that will be specific and tailored to what the young men like him that you've described would need.
Right.
So that's what we're focusing on for Strong Men, Strong Minds, is beginning that conversation.
That is powerful. For all of the, you got quite a testimony. I've been knowing you for almost 40 years. You got quite a testimony, and I want to look in the camera and say, for all we hear so much about what politicians are not doing and who this person is not doing. Here's a pastor and a politician telling you we are taking steps and to some degree putting our own funds behind making sure that this event takes place. Yeah. We want to see African American men further empowered. We don't mean to suggest that all African American men are failing or struggling and all of that, but there's somewhere in these categories, every African American man can be strengthened to be better at who he is. But there's another component of this that we want to tell you about as well. It's a no judging zone.
Absolutely.
Nobody, gay, straight, whatever the case, unemployed, employed, atheist, Christian, Muslim, whoever you are, we want you to be there that day because you also bring a certain amount of success and experience that can be viable. Yeah, we have several speakers, and we're going to talk about our keynote in just a second. But it's your presence is necessary. Absolutely. So I said I was going to talk about our keynote, and among the several other speakers that are going to speak to the mental health of African American males, and that subject that we don't like to talk about, but we need to, voter participation, economic empowerment, fatherhood, family development, and strengthening principles. We're going to have several different speakers who speak small amounts of time there, but we're going to have a keynote speaker. And it is Minister Nuri Muhammad from the Nation of Islam. Councilman Graves. This Strong Men, Strong Minds concept was a birth child of yours by the Spirit. Tell the audience why two Christian men will be willing to bring Minister Nuri Muhammad of the Nation of Islam to speak to us on that day.
As we discussed who would be ideal for this keynote
for
moment,
these purposes.
For this purpose, this inaugural event, we wanted to make sure that this was not a political event.
That's right.
We wanted to make sure that this was not a religious event.
That's right.
We wanted to make sure that the one thing that binds us all together was the focus of this event, and that's
the development of our manhood.
That's the fact that we are African American men, and the fact that we are here to seek improvement, development, betterment, opportunities. Those are the things that we wanted to focus on. I am absolutely thrilled that we were able to secure Minister Muhammad.
The national speaker.
Absolutely. He is a jewel that is a nationwide jewel that is right here in Indianapolis, Indiana. So we have him on the stage, and he will by himself. We do have several other speakers that are going to make sure that we cover those things that are addressed, that will be addressed, that we've discussed many times. But he by himself will cover in no uncertain fashion the things that we need to accomplish. He's an amazing speaker. If you have not heard him, please come out. That's August 8th at 9 a.m. at the State House in downtown Indianapolis. So I'm very excited that he will be our keynote. He is absolutely perfect for this event.
I agree. I agree. I want to commend you for, and I know you're an humble and modest guy, but Councilman Graves is constantly trying to cause the plight of the African American and the plight of his constituency to reap the benefits not only of society but of an empowered you.
Absolutely.
We've had multiple conversations about, I can vouch for Councilman Graves. He's constantly fighting against unemployment rates, constantly trying to help single mothers with access to food and access to daycare assistance and access to health care benefits and access to housing. These are constant. Go to his page. Go to his page. I always say something not true, there shouldn't be any evidence. Go to his page. There's a multiplicity of opportunities that he's constantly trying to set forth. And here's an elected official doing what we voted him in to do.
Yep.
So often we want a particular politician to change the world because we voted for him. No, you vote for someone because you want them to participate in the process.
Absolutely.
Of bringing better. No one political activist or politician can change the world.
I tell you.
But you can do your part.
Yeah, and I tell you, Pastor, I've been in this role for more than a year now, but just this week, one of the proudest moments occurred. I was a part of Proposal 199, which establishes the Indianapolis Commission on African-American males.
Absolutely.
So I was one of the members that introduced that into the committee, and then I spoke before the committee, and it passed through the committee with the do pass recommendation when it hits the full council next month.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. That is something
That's
that
major.
This city will benefit from, having a home to house the situation or all that details African American males. Right now, we've got so many different resources that we have to look to find answers to what's going on. So this will be the home for elected officials and grassroots organizations and anyone that wants to understand African American males. If our city is only as good as its citizens, then we have to proactively understand each and every one of its citizens.
Right.
And that's what this commission is going to do. We're excited about some of the things that are going to come out of it. But first and foremost, it's going to house research, data, and it's going to be a resource for all of us.
Well, I'm tickled pink. My PhD dissertation was about Thomas Smith and John Carlos and political voice, and I have a book out about Black males, and so I'm excited about that. That's just something that is very important. Listen, I want you, if you would, to take the next few minutes as we prepare to wrap up our show, and talk to us about what we hope to accomplish in the lives of men. What are we looking for as the end result of a person who participates in our rallies and helps us get our hands in their hands to move forward?
I would love to see a new way of thinking in those young men and even older men that attend. We have been separated by design as African American men. I want this to bring us together, allow us to identify one another as brothers, and move forward with shared experiences that will help us not unlike any other situation where you go to a meeting and everyone has a shared experience, and it helps them overcome some of the challenges because they're able to speak with people that have had those same experiences. So this will be the beginning of that. Again, we will have future events that will be discussed at the August 8th event. We will have future events because this is not a one-time event. We're absolutely committed. The committee that's pulling this together in partnership with myself, we are absolutely excited about some of the follow-up. So those that in attendance will walk away with something to hold on to. Accountability,
and restoration.
Just a positive thought on themselves and their fellow brothers.
That's right.
So that's what we're hopeful will occur, and I'm pretty certain that with what we are doing, the effort that we're doing, with the blessings that we've asked each time we've met from our Heavenly Father, we will get there. We will get there.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's we want every man to understand this is not a judgment zone. We're not coming there to beat you down, tell you how bad we've been doing and all of that. We're there to empower you, to strengthen. Somebody empowered us. Someone empowered us. I can't tell you the countless number of men, Dr. Troy Ladd, C.L. Adams, Dr. A.L. Kane, over the years, and a man named Hewlett Washington, that influenced my manhood and kept me on the straight and narrow path because they saw something in me that often I didn't even see in myself. And so I'm thankful about that. There are others who there's 5 of us that have made up this council to organize this. It's the brainchild of Councilman Graves, Brother Minister Larry Smith, who will be our guest next week, who will further explain some concepts of Strong Men, Strong Mind 2020 Empowerment Rally. So there's Councilman Graves, Minister Larry Smith, Brother James Garrett, the Executive Director of the Indiana Commission on Black Males, is on our council. And Brother Robert Shagag is the President of Indianapolis Recorder. He is there, myself, Dr. Clyde Posley. So we have
Kenneth Allen.
And Brother Kenneth Allen, exactly. And we have amassed a group of individuals who have stakeholders in African male development in Indianapolis. So we're excited about that. Listen, Councilman Graves, it's been my pleasure to have you here today, my brother.
Pleasure.
You're
Always
doing a great job.
I appreciate
Always,
that.
I'm excited. I'm Team Graves.
Thank you so much.
He is great at what he's doing, and I'm 100% with him. Listen, we thank you for tuning in today. We recognize that this was a lot of information, but you want to be there. We want to have your men there, your husband, your brother, your son, that boy in the neighborhood that you're trying to figure out how to save, don't know how to approach. Get him to this free event, Saturday, August the 8th from 9 to 12. It is worth it. I don't put my money behind things I don't think are not worth it. I don't put my effort behind things that God didn't tell me to do. It is worth it. That's August the 8th. Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 on the west side of the state office building, which is at Capitol and Washington Street.
Community service.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if those who are even have been assigned community service, for example, by a court, being there those 3 hours will be signed off on as community service because that's what it is. Yeah. And so we're excited about it. Listen, God bless you for tuning in. And as you know in life, you are always making moves. Since we're always making moves, why don't you make your moves that matter? I've been your host, Dr. Clyde Posley, here with Councilman Keith Graves from the 13th District. We're excited to have had you here today. Hit share so we can get the word out. We appreciate your presence. I will see you next week. God bless you. Talk to you soon.